as a maybe a little ray of light that I haven't heard anybody say about just this season because of COVID.
Really?
I think you'll buy this a little bit. This is
I
factual
wanna hear it.
information. It's statistical. It's the truth. You can't deny it. Okay, so when you go to Pro Football Reference, you can go into the split and start looking at how certain players do in certain situations over the course of their career. And it's so geeky. Like, it shows what their record is when you score 0 to 7 points, when you score 8 to 14 or 15 plus. It shows you your record in September, October, November, December, January. And all these things are very consistent for one certain player. Matthew Stafford. He's one game under 500 in September, 1 over in October, 3 under in November, 6 under in December, 1 and 2 in January. You know, it's all just very even. However, there's a very, very important stat and something that still matters in sports to this day called home and away. Matthew Stafford is just 5 games over 500 at home throughout his career. Ford Field's never been a great home field advantage for them, but they've held their own at home, okay? They're a little bit above 500. On the road, he's 15 games under 500. In a COVID season, why does going on the road make it harder to win?
It doesn't. There's no fans. There's no home field advantage. I mean, you got to travel. That's the only downside, but I'm pretty sure they're used to that. Wow. I didn't think about that. I mean, it's not bad.
They are saying that this COVID season is going to be so different that it will impact opening lines to start the season, and that you're not going to get the traditional 3 points as the home team.
Well, look at the NBA. The NBA has had series that are closer than many thought they would be because home court doesn't exist. So I think it's a good point. So can Matt Stafford go on the road and beat a winning team? I mean, my immediate response is no. And
so you think it all has to do with travel then and nothing to do with the fans?
No, I do. I think it's a good point by you. I think it is a ray of sunshine. But it will also be just another layer I can lay on when he cannot beat a winning team on the road without fans. Just saying. That's how I think.
I think there's like you said, it's a little ray of hope. Maybe it can matter for, let's say you're 10-6. Like that Stafford's done that one time, and I think he had 2 11-5s or he had 2 10-6s and 1 11, whatever. Let's say you've got your best Stafford season, you know, they're 10-6 or 11-5, and you get that one extra road win that you typically wouldn't. All of a sudden, that might win you the division. Man, look how pathetically deep you have to dig to try to find something to make this year different than any other.
Well, how about this? I got something, okay? I think yours are good. And if you twist my arm and make me come up with the defense, the obvious is the offense. We already talked about it. I mean, Stafford was playing good. There's no indication that he's going to have another back injury. It does seem like his back is healthy. And their offense should be the best it's been in quite some time. But the X factor is the defense. This was the first year that Bob Quinn actually drafted somewhat sensible. There wasn't really a reach. He didn't take a Tracy Walker in the 3rd round, even though Walker turned out to be pretty good. He didn't take a Tease Tabor in the 2nd round. He pretty much drafted on need. And he filled a lot of holes. And then they filled more holes with free agency. And even though you and I look at guys like Danny Shelton and Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins and Ron Harmon, and we say, bunch of expatriates, that's all the Lions can get, they overpay them. There might be something to be said about them all coming together under Patricia, who's pretty much coached all these guys anyhow. I mean, listen, Patricia, even though I totally disagree with him, he ran off all the veterans, all the good players in my mind, traded them away, he alienated them, and he went out and got his own type of guy. So if you can't coach your defense, you're supposed to be pretty smart defensively, you're a rocket scientist. If you can't coach this defense with your guys, then it's, I mean, listen, I already think he stinks, but it's a definite that he stinks. So I will allow a little room that this defense will overachieve, that he knows what he's doing, and that a bunch of expatriates can come together and play some pretty good football. And by the way, the team's pretty damn unified. I think we saw that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a win for him. I mean, it doesn't matter if they come out and lose the first game, you know, but that's something that can galvanize the team a little bit. It can glue the team together. But look, something going here. They don't have to be a great defense. They don't have to be a top 10. They can be in middle of the pack. And if the offense is what it was at the beginning of the year, this year, plus let's say Hawkinson really steps up. There's been a lot of evidence of tight ends in year 2 really taking a big leap. I mean, what if he had a borderline Pro Bowl caliber season?
That solves a lot. It does. It gives you another weapon you didn't have last year.
I think.
Let's be honest. I wonder how good would they have been if Stafford never got injured. Now, they won 3 games. They tied 1. They lost the other 4, right, when he was totally healthy. But if he never got injured, you got to believe you're probably getting 7-8 wins.
Oh, yeah.
You know that Stafford will get you to 7-8 wins. The big question is, can that defense be good enough to win you those other 2 or win you those other 3? Make a big timely stop when you need to. I mean, they were so lousy the last 2 years that it's hard for me to believe they just take this jump. But if you're forcing me to make an argument of why they're going to win the division, it's going to be that. It's going to be that everything gels in year 3 and that Patricia and his guys play well. 97 won the ticket.
When big things happen in Detroit sports, you hear it first on Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket. Breaking news powered by Radio.com Sports and brought to you by Pennzoil. Motor oils from natural gas. The proof is in the Pennzoil. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A Radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk, this is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Sold by MarkZ.com. Let's start with the Tigers, who made just one notable deal before baseball's trading deadline arrived yesterday afternoon. The team sends outfielder Cameron Maybin to the Chicago Cubs in exchange for infielder Zach Short. GM Al Avila afterwards on that trade for Short, which he admits to reporters came together pretty quickly.
We only had one conversation, and that was it. Then nothing really happened until today, and it happened later in the day, and it went down to the final, minutes, or actually the final minute.
Short will now be assigned to the team's alternate trading site in Toledo. On the field, the Tigers will open up a week-long road trip tonight in Milwaukee. That's where they'll face the Brewers in the start of that short 2-game series. Our coverage here on The Ticket begins at 7:15. Finals from the NBA playoffs last night. Oklahoma City Thunders pass Houston 104-100. Miami beats Indiana 115-104. Over in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Colorado knocks off Dallas 6-3. Tampa Bay eliminates Boston with a 3-2 win in 2 overtimes. Speaking virtually at the annual kickoff luncheon at the Detroit Economic Club yesterday, Lions team president Rod Wood says he's still hopeful fans will be able to attend games at Ford Field later in the fall. Detroit's first 2 home games, September 13th against Chicago and October 4th against New Orleans, will be played without fans in the stands. However, the team won't have another game at Ford Field after that until November 1st, which could open the door for fans with social distancing rules in place to return. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Radio.com.
The Ticket, the morning show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Michael Stone. Jake Ritma running the show for Greg Hargreave, who's on vacation. The Gov is here. Heather is here. And ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Clawson, Michigan, the University of Michigan, and the Washington football team, and the Detroit Lions, the one, the only, John Jensen.
Good morning. I need to take you wherever I go. I love that introduction. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yes.
You like that,
I do.
When you're a trained public address announcer, you can do these things. Unfortunately,
You're not able to address the public
I'm
on
not
Friday nights?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm sure Heather will get into it in the news, but it seems that the governor is going to open gyms, which is good. Looks like movie theaters and other stuff. How about football?
Oh.
We'll get into that a little
It's
later.
taken away my excuse, though, right? I mean, hey, the gyms are closed. I can't go work out.
Yes.
It's one thing I can't blame the governor on right now. All right, come on, keep them closed. That way, at least I can have an excuse for who I am.
Well, you can go in and walk. I mean, hey, you can come over to my house. As you know, we used to joke. I have a facility. I have a treadmill that I don't use very much. I have a recumbent bike that I don't use very much. Elliptical, same thing. So it's my own fault. So yeah, but I'm actually looking forward to when the gyms reopen. Planet Fitness get that thing going again.
I cannot wait.
It should be good. I mean, look, if they can have social distancing in gyms, which they can, well, you can't have social distancing on the field in football, but you can have it in the stands. And like I said, we'll get into it later, right? You know,
We might.
We want to start on a happier type of note, don't we?
It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, give us a happy note.
The Toronto Blue Jays lost last night.
Okay.
We're doing some scoreboard watching. So right now the Tigers, who did not play, by my math, are a game and a half out of the playoffs.
Yes. Game and a half out. 500. Here we go. We're not going to get to I can't remember what I said. Was it 38 or 39?
39.
Yeah, 39. Okay, we're not going to get there. All right, I've accepted that. But and I'm cautious to plant my flag because the last time I did that, it sent the Tigers on about an 8-game losing streak.
Yeah, you know what? And the fact that they're in Milwaukee and in Minnesota for their next 7 games, maybe you don't want to plant that flag just yet.
I don't want. No, I'm not going to plant a flag.
Good.
I'm just saying I'm very hopeful that we could have a playoff team in the city of Detroit.
See, we had Rieger was probably even more excited than you, and I'm like, wait,
I need something good to happen in the sports world. I just need something.
I know. You're right. Everything has gone to crap around here locally. It has.
And honestly, at 16 and 60, at 500, just past the midway point, I'm happy with that. I'm not. I'll clarify that. I'm always hoping for a playoff run or a championship, but where the Tigers were with what we have going on right now, I'm tuning in as much as I possibly can, and I'm excited about 500 right now.
I think it's good that they're 500.
You're not excited?
I'm not excited because I've learned that even, we do have a bastardized season right now that I'm not going to get my hopes up and have them crushed, which I still think is going to happen because I still don't think they're very good. That's why. Yesterday, they made a move that, we discussed yesterday, what would you like to add? I mean, Rieger wanted to add somebody. No, I didn't think that was necessary. And I was like, if you could sell somebody, even if it was somebody like Scope, and you could get a team's like, 10th best prospects, I'd be in favor of that.
Right.
So they did get rid of Cameron Maybin for the 3rd time. My God, he's like the Andre Fluellen of the Tigers. He'll come back again. And they get a minor league utility infielder named Zach Short, who was the 21st, according to MLB Pipeline. Okay, there are a lot of services, so that's the one I saw. 21st on their list of Cubs prospects. He's now, because our farm system is better than the Cubs, is now the 27th best Tiger prospect. His name, he's aptly named for his last name, Zach Short. He's 5'10". He has a little more power than you would think. He was supposed to actually last year, possibly make the team, late in the season or a call-up, but he broke his hand early in April and never got going. So who knows?